In today's video, I am going to be sharing with you guys what's inside this box. I'm gonna give you a tour of my messy studio with what's inside this box. But before I do any of that, I need to go work out.
And super fans allowed. In the short time since I've been back from the Next Step program, I've been uploading 2 days a week. I chose Tuesdays because Savvy Tuesday has been around since the beginning.
I just completed a 1 hour, 15-minute spin session on the spin bike, and while I was doing it, I was even doing a Facebook live stream for the final half hour. Wow. All right, I need to go get a shower, and then we're gonna unbox what's in that box, and then I'll show you around my studio. Okay, here's the deal. Before I reveal what's in the box and show you around my studio or any of this gear stuff, I need to explain one thing, and that is I did not start with everything that I have right now. I got my start in audio podcasting over 12 years ago. And when I started with nothing more than a $35 headset. It wasn't even USB. It was one of those things with the two 1/8 inch plugs for a microphone and headphones, and I just plugged that into a laptop and recorded into free software. And then after that, I upgraded to some equipment that I knew nothing about. I purchased the wrong microphone, some really terrible Marshall MXL 990 condenser microphones, plugged it into a little mixer, and then recorded into, I think at the time I was recording into a Sharp mini disc recorder. And then I started doing live shows. This was in 2006. I was doing live audio broadcasting and also broadcasting video as well. And I have this picture, I'll put it on the screen now for you, that shows me sitting on my living room floor, how I had everything set up. And I would set it up like that every single week and tear it down every single week. And then I think eventually Stephanie gave me a little corner in our living room of our old home that I could set things up and keep it set up. And then I expanded from that little corner to take up a little bit more space. Eventually, I decided that, hey, I'm going to start pursuing this a little bit more seriously than a hobby, and I would love to turn it into a full-time career. And through that process, my studio started to grow inside of our old home. We actually installed a wall to separate and cut off our living room in half, and half of was still a living room. The other half became my office, and that grew, and eventually this business was formed, and it massively outgrew our old home, and we built the space that we're in today. And even what you're about ready to see today, most of the gear that you're ready to see today, except for the audio gear I've had for several years now. But all of the video gear that you're about ready to see, almost all of it has been purchased within the last 18 months. So with that being said, let's go ahead and switch over to this camera angle, and I will reveal to you what is inside this box. This, my friends, is the Zion Crane Gimbal. It is something I've been waiting for over a week now. In fact, in video vlog number 101, I shared my brand new portable vlogging gear. You can find a link to that in the description of this video, as well as links to everything else I'll share today. But anyway, I had the Zion Crane M, which was specifically made for smaller cameras, mirrorless cameras, and I was able to get some pretty decent footage from it, but I found that it was overworking the motors in the gimbal for the camera that I have when I want to have the Arca Swiss mounting. But this one is actually made for bigger cameras, and you can even put a DSLR on here, from what I understand, but it's certainly going to be great for my Canon M6. Anyway, let's go ahead and put this thing together. Okay, I have everything set up on my gimbal and it is working perfectly. This is so much better. Oh my gosh, this is so much better than the Crane M for this. It is much more fluid. That motor is not overworked. Yeah, absolutely incredible. And yeah, that's gorgeous. I love it. I'm so excited. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and show you around the studio, but I do ask you to pardon the mess. My office isn't as clean as I would like it to be. Now, the first thing that I want to do is I want to show you how the gimbal compares to that walk we did this morning. So you can see how nice and steady this shot is. I can come in here and you can see just how smooth that is. That's my spin bike. Absolutely my favorite way to work out if I'm not able to ride outside. All right, so let's get back here and show you around the studio. So this is the Next Level Studio. This is where you would come if you were going to do one of my live workshops. And there are all those boxes that have come in over the last couple weeks. That's where all this camera gear came from. I still need to take those out. One thing you'll notice in here is that it's not all that echoey. It used to be terrible with echo in here until I got these sound absorption panels, and I just put them all over, as you can see. And because these sound absorption panels are all over the walls, there is absolutely no echo in here at all. All right, so this is what you guys probably want to see the most. This is where the magic happens. This is where I do my audio production work. And of course, I also have a nice video setup. So I'm not going to do a full studio tour. I just want to give you guys a real quick glimpse around. But I record everything into a Heil PR40 microphone, which is right here. It's got the nice metal mesh pop filter, shock mount. This is called a mic flag. You can get these at impactpbs.com. This is the Heil boom arm. It lets me bring the microphone out to where I want it to be. I've got a 27-inch iMac right there with a external monitor off to the left. I also have another external monitor that is over here, and I can actually switch to it by showing you there. That's actually a third monitor. But let's go back over to the microphone here. So we have this microphone, and that goes into my Mackie 1402 VLZ4 mixer. In fact, I am currently using a Sony wireless lav that is coming into channel 3 of that mixer. And of course, everything goes from the mixer into a digital audio recorder. Now, I'm not actually recording the audio here, but I do have the recorder on and in standby mode just so that I can see those audio levels are recording, because I'm not doing in-ear monitoring right now. And this way I know that audio is actually being passed from the mixer into the recorder. Now, everything is currently being recorded into this right here, this Data Video HDR1. This is basically, instead of a digital audio recorder, it is a digital video recorder. Now, my mixer sends audio both into the digital audio recorder, but it also sends audio into the digital video recorder. And everything that actually comes into this digital video recorder also gets passed out to this device up here, the Blackmagic Web Presenter. That allows me to take any HDMI video source and turn it into basically what my camera assumes to be a webcam. And this is how I send my video signal from my studio setup out to GoToWebinar, Zoom meeting, Skype, anything that would read a webcam. It pulls it from this HDMI source. Now, as far as where does this device get its video signal from? Well, that is actually under my desk, which is it's quite a mess under here. But it comes from this device right here. This is a Roland video switcher. It's the V-1 HD. And I put it down here under the desk because it has a very loud fan, and I control it remotely using this iPad app. So I just have this second iPad mini on here that allows me to do all of the video switching back and forth and all that good jazz. So what I can show you real quickly is if I want to, I can go up here and I am now on camera number 1. I can switch this to camera 2 and then hit here. And now, oh, there I am, camera 2. Hello, everybody. And then, of course, if I want to, I can put that on my screen. And now you guys are actually seeing my screen. And, of course, I can just press that button and I'm right back here. So everything, this Roland V-1 HD is my video switcher. It allows me to take multiple video inputs and control them. And of course, everything gets sent down to here. I also have another iPad mini sitting on my desk, and this one is for my sound clips. So if I was going to do a podcast, I could click this button right here.
Hello, everyone. This is Michael Hyatt from michaelhyatt.com. You're listening to the man who has trained more people to podcast than anyone else on the planet. My friend Cliff Ravenscraft, he is the podcast answer man.
And then right after that, I could just click this button right over here.
Are you ready to take your message, your business, and your life to the next level?
Want to learn from someone with more than a decade of experience?
You get the idea. I do have some studio lights in here, and the studio lights that I use are called Cowboy Studio 3-point lighting system. Anyway, I bought these a couple years ago and have been using them ever since. They get a little hot if you've had them on for a very long time. I also have some professional grade tripods here. I don't know, let's see, this one is a Davis and Sanford tripod with a fluid head mount. And on top of that, this camera right here is a Canon HFG30 camera. And I also bought an external monitor for that so that I could actually see what is being displayed there. There was a time when I would be looking here and I would see myself in this camera angle, but the video switcher was actually still showing the computer screen. So I thought I was on screen, but I wasn't. I was actually seeing myself here, but this is what my recorder was seeing. And so I decided to put these up here so that I could always see whatever is being recorded. And of course, I have an external monitor so that I can always be able to see when I'm sharing my screen. It is actually on a rolling mount that allows me to roll that monitor all over the place. Sometimes I have it sitting right across my desk. Sometimes I have it off to the side where you see it now. And then I have another tripod here. This one is a Manfrotto. And behind the curtain here, I have a Canon HFG40. This is my main production camera. And it is sitting behind a teleprompter. And of course, that teleprompter is always going to be displaying what my video recorder is recording as well. If I want to, I could teleprompt different text on there, but if I'm actually going to be using a teleprompter text, which I've still never done a video with a teleprompter text yet, but if I was going to, I would take this monitor off and I would put my iPad Pro on there, and I use a special app that would allow me to do teleprompting text. But this allows me to at least see what's on here. If I want to, I can reach over and switch over to, let's see here. There we go. And now you can see what that camera is seeing. And of course, that's me using the gimbal. Hey, everybody. But yeah, there you go. There's also cables over here on that table that would have a third camera set up. All kinds of stuff that I could do in here. I'm sure there's more that I could show you, but unfortunately, that is all I have time to share with you today. Guys, just a reminder, all this stuff that you've seen, this is not how I started. I've probably spent about $9,000 in video gear within the last 18 months, and I'm only in the place where I could do this after, well, I've been doing this for over 10 years full-time as a career, creating professional content online. And it's only within the last 18 months that I've actually invested in all of this video gear. And let me tell you, I've been creating online video since 2006, and it's the fact that I didn't have this stuff prior to 18 months ago never kept me from creating content. It's only now that I'm taking things super serious when it comes to my YouTube channel that I knew that I wanted to take my video productions to a whole new level. But I just wanted to share with you the kind of gear that I'm using to create the kind of content at the level that I'm creating it today, only after getting to the place where I can invest these kind of funds into this kind of equipment. But whatever you do, don't let this video discourage you from getting started with whatever you have right now. And of course, then taking everything you do to the next level as you have the opportunity. Thanks so much, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you, and we'll be back soon.